Hi folks, just before I start the update this week, just to let you know, with these YouTube videos, in the description we list the topics, so if you don't feel like you've got the time to watch all of this video, you can just flick through the topics in the description. If you click on those times, it will take you straight to where you what you would like to listen to, really. So yeah. Good morning, it's Friday the 18th of October, so another weekly update for you. This week I'm trying desperately not to talk about weather too much in all of these, but the weather has really reared its ugly head this week with heavy rain much of this week, seen short game area closures and our first buggy ban of the year for safety. Also, we've had quite a lot of fog as well. That's seen delayed starts and played some real havoc with the course there. Worst day was Wednesday, where it was still very, very foggy at the top of the course at about 10 a.m. So what we tried to do then was almost accept that it feels like it's in for the day. So we opened a 4.5 hole course. So we opened holes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then played from the top of 9 down, just to try and get people out there on the holes that were relatively safe. So it's Friday. We've done a good course setup this morning. Cut greens, roll greens, changed the holes, cut green surrounds and cut the aprons as well. The frequencies, we haven't cut fairways this week. It's the first week since summer that we haven't felt the need to cut them, as they are not too long, and we can start getting away with that as we haven't had too much growth. Tees and aprons are twice a week, start of the week, end of the week. Greens, again, we've got out 4 or 5 times on those, and yeah, green surrounds just the once. On the greens, we've put a granular fertilizer on this week, 407. That would just give them a nice little perk up. We have a granular fertilizer program where we apply a light rate of fertilizer, about 20 grams a square meter, which is quite a light rate, and we just try and do that every 6-8 weeks, something like that, and keep monitoring that for plant health and growth. So that keeps them very healthy. Other things we've been up to, we've done staff appraisals this week. Something I'm very, very keen on, staff appraisals. So I've sat down with all 4 of the team this week, which has been great, because I think the biggest compliment I paid all the lads was that we've had 3 brand new members of staff this year, and I don't think the membership would really have, out of a 5-man team, I don't think the membership would have noticed too much lowering quality out on the course. I think so. That's a testament to all the lads and how well they've picked the job up and applied themselves, and also Mark's assistance to me in training them. So it was a great team effort. But as I said, yeah, great to sit down with the boys and set some targets for the next 6 months of where we'd like to do some more training and where we feel like we can improve and all that thing. So yeah, it's great for resetting motivation going into winter and setting some targets, as I said. So that's also this week. You'll notice out on the golf course that we've started shutting down the pathways away from tees. We have quite a lot of pinch points of high wear from a lot of traffic and buggies and things. So yeah, we started to try and seed them, put a bit of soil and seed down on those, and get them roped off as well, and roped off all the pathways, so they can be nice and healthy for next year, and we'll start driving through carries and things like that. So that's something else that's been addressed and looked at this week. Taking advantage of a couple of wet days to do some grinding in the workshop. I will do a video of how those work, but we purchased some grinders, and allows us to do that in-house, and which is fantastic. We can get nice good cuts on our mowers, and anytime anything goes wrong with a unit, we can spin it up and get it cutting sharply, and yeah, really benefiting. Good thing for the club to invest in. And as I said, I'll do a video on that to give for more in-depth of how that works. So I'm currently on the short game area. We've closed this week. I'm delighted with how well it's bounced back and feels like it's recovered from just having a bit of a rest. It was struggling. I always say it's an absolutely fantastic area, but it's relatively small. It makes the best use of the space that's here, but it is relatively small and it's very, very popular, so it does get quite heavily worn. And when we start to lose turf and start to be able to see the soil is being highlighted here, then we need to really need to manage these areas and give them a bit of rest, so we don't completely wear them out, and it takes major works to get them back. Additionally, I'm just going to go up to the top. You'll see we are having a few drainage issues on this area. We feel the makeup of when we built this was to shape it out of chalk, which is obviously a very free draining material, but particularly this pocket of the chipping green down into that little runoff down there, and just in that little in that bowl there too, does hold quite a lot of water. We believe that's just because whilst chalk is a very, very free draining material, when you do shape it and move it around and then compact it with I think we had a 13-ton digger in, and that's compacting things in, then it can over compact it at times and take away its free properties. So the plan of action with this area is we're going to rent in a machine called an Air 2 G2, and that will go through the root zone into the chalk and blast air to start trying to break up some of that chalk and restore its free draining properties, because the root zone that is on top of the chalk is an 80-20, so we know that drains well, but it's just getting a bit clogged up in a few areas. So that's the plan with that. Also, the first and third, we're going to look to hire in a tractor mounted auger, and just in a couple of areas where we get the puddles there, we'll drain right down, put a pipe in, and get that draining well, and that should improve those, because the works we did worked very, very well on 1 and 3, where we did a drill and fill by verti-draining and getting the sand in there. That has really, really helped percolate the water through, but not quite. There's still a couple of areas which need a little bit extra. We've continued with works to extend the 12th winter tee this week to the point of completion of the tee top itself. I'll just talk you through the process of that using the 3 demonstrated photos. So once that sub base is down, we then put the boards down, use a laser level theodolite, as you can see, and to get those boards at the right height and exactly where we want them. We'll then come in with our 60-40 root zone and top up, and then have it all well compacted in, similar height to the top of the boards, and then a few dustings over the top of that root zone to make it slightly proud of the boards, and then we come along with a ladder to scratch it all down, and so that we know that that's all at the right level according to those boards. Once that's complete, we will remove those boards, fill in those gaps left by the boards, get that all leveled off, then seeded and fertilized, and then rake all that in to help the process of germination. The key to seed is trying to get it in the ground. Anything you see won't grow, so it's important to try and get that good contact with soil and get it just under that, in that root zone. So that's why we raked behind, and then let the rain start washing it in. So I said, we completed doing the T-top. There are a few snagging jobs to do around the outside of there. We're going to build the bank up from the path ever so slightly on the right-hand side as you look down at the photo, and then that will get turf to create a walk-on / tee bank up to the side of there, up to the side of that tee, and then either some seeding or some turfing around the banks too. That will then complete that tee, and we wait, watch it grow, and look forward to using it as soon as we can. Once the tee-top was complete on 12 this week, we continued to work on the mound at the first. So, taking loads. A lot of the loads that we were taking are from the back of the driving range. We're trying to give that dumping ground that's back left of the driving range back to the driving range as much as possible, to extend the length of the driving range. So we're trying to use up a lot of that soil for projects such as where we're trying to create mounds and stuff like that, and lose it where we can, I suppose. So, and as I said, and then we'll go, and because that's all very rich, thick topsoil that will encourage thicker grasses, weeds, and things like that. We'll use that to bulk up the mound, and then we'll cap that with chalk so that the nutrients don't come through quite as well. Then we keep it thin and wispy, so you get the best of both worlds, I suppose, where you're filling it with waste and things, thicker soil that we perhaps don't, where we're trying to get rid of it, and then, as I said, cap it with chalk so that we keep it nice and thin, which works out well. So we've probably come up, just looking at the end of the week, probably just come up a little bit short. Probably 2 loads. I think we'll need another couple of loads just at the end, just to finish that mound off, and then we'll press on next week and should make a start turfing that and getting it all, start to get all that tidied up and looking well, and order and plant all the gorse in. So that will all get start getting tidied up next week. So that's it from us this week, folks. Thanks for watching, tuning in, and listening. If there are any requests, if anyone would like to see or know about anything on the golf course, feel free to leave a comment or try and get hold of us or speak to people in the office. If I get feedback with what being asked what's going on the golf course, I will try to use this video to do some updates as well. So if there's anyone would like to know any more information about anything we do out on the golf course, then feel free to ask questions, and I'll try and update you and explain things. So thanks again, and I'll catch up with you next week.